Can you hear me now? Hello. We'll just wait a second, make sure that you can hear me and see me, and I think we are live. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Tara. All right. Today, if you're new here, I am Angela. This is Clark Fine Art. And this is our second live stream. And yeah, if you just tag me, it's going to highlight on my screen. And audio, video, check. Okay. So today I thought, we discussed last week about working in acrylic, and then we will be doing that today. I just had to run downstairs and run back upstairs. So now my throat was going to bother me for a few minutes. But I was talking to Tara before the stream, and apparently she talked me into coffee. So yeah, we have that. As long as I don't stick my paintbrush in it. Oh, today we're going to be working in acrylic. We are painting a sunset, and I was commissioned to do this piece. And I thought, you know, while I am working on that, I wanted to try out, these are some of the new brushes that I got. And there were 3 different varieties that I picked. They're all a different style brush. And these are Creative Mark brushes. Now, I have the Creative Mark Mimic brushes, which is by Jerry's, and I love those. They're for my watercolor. The Mimic brushes are for watercolor. They are very reasonably priced, and I thought, you know, I want to give them a try, some of their brushes a try for acrylics. I love working in acrylics. Acrylics is definitely my first love when it comes to, well, not really my first love. I mean, when I was a kid, of course, when I was really little, it was crayons and, you know, pencils and, excuse me, anything that I could get my hands onto, sketching, doodling, you know, drawing, that kind of thing. Just creating, you know, we used to have so much fun when we were kids, and I think we lose that as we get older, and we really shouldn't. We should still play and have fun. But anyhow, then as I explored art as I got older, I tried painting, and, you know, I used to be fascinated. I'd watch Bob Ross with my dad, and I would be fascinated with what he would create with a paintbrush. And, you know, he would do it. What was it? Half an hour on PBS. We would watch him, and boom, here's this masterpiece. And I wanted to be able to do that. So when I got into painting, acrylics, I absolutely loved acrylics. From the first time I had ever tried them, I loved them. But I haven't found an acrylic brush that is like my absolute favorite brush, where I would say, oh, these are the brushes that I would absolutely recommend if you're starting out in acrylics, because they're great to work with. So that led me to this. So that's a long story to say I got some new brushes. But these are, there's 3 different kinds. Actually, I have 4. I forgot to link one in the description, but I will later. But these are everything is linked in the description below. So the Pro Stroke, and this is, again, by Creative Mark, and this is a premium white bristle. So this is like a hog bristle. It's very stiff. And I got that in the size 4 filbert and the size 1 round. And then I also got their Power Krill. And this is also number 4 filbert. Again, I wanted to be able to compare them, so apples to apples there as far as size-wise. And when I am normally working, a lot of times I'll grab this guy, which is my number 4 filbert, and it's just a regular like tack on bristle brush. So Taklon bristle brushes they feel very smooth. I don't want to say soft, because when I think soft, I think of, you know, like the Princeton Neptunes that I showed you for watercolor. Those are the bristles are very soft. It's, they don't snap back. They don't have that snap. So that's what I think of when I think soft brush. But these bristles are very smooth, for, you know, the Taklon. But you see, I mean, I don't have to press very hard, and that brush is gonna bend and move. Well, with the white bristle, that one it's very stiff. Like, that doesn't have a lot of, you want to say snap. I mean, it doesn't give a whole lot. So then if we look at the Power Krill, which I got, unlike the Hog, which is more coarse, would have a lot more texture, this is very smooth, like your Taklon, except it's very stiff, like the Hog. So you get the smoothness of the Taklon brush and the stiffness of the Hog. So I wanted to try those. So I grabbed a #1 round. And I will note that on the Power Krill, I put some of these extras down here, on the Power Krill versus the white bristle, you can see, if you can see that there, hold on, let me see if I do it this way. So on the Hog, which is this one, it's very blunt, versus on the Power Krill, there's a really nice point to that brush. If you can see that there, there's a really nice point on the end of it. So I think it would be really good for some detail work. So I got both of those. And then I also grabbed a, again, by Creative Mark, and these are the Pro White, and they're like a white Taklon. And this was a #1, and it's a cat's tongue, which is very, you know, it's like a filbert, but it has a little bit more of a point to it, if you can see that there, this guy. And then I grabbed a #1 round, which very similar to the other. So again, comparing those same, you know, apples to apples, as far as this one and this one, the Power Krill, and then just the regular Pro White. So I wanted to see how they worked. So I'm going to be trying some of those out today as I do some of the thinner clouds and different, you know, finer details. I wanted to see just kind of how they work. And when you look at them, so if we talk about how they are, as far as, you know, I was mentioning, like, this one has a lot more of that flex, your regular Taklon bristle. And then your Hog being the really, you know, the bristle brush being a lot stiffer. The Power Krill kind of falls in between those. And then if I looked at the Pro White, I would say the Pro White would come in between those, as far as how much flexibility you have in the brush. I mean, all 4 of these brushes have a good snapback, and I think will be great in acrylic. But as far as if you're wondering how much flex you have in that brush, I would say that's the order, from how stiff to more flexible, if that makes sense. So those are that's one of the things I want to test out as I go today. So you'll see me grab some of those and use them, and I will try to remember to tell you which one I'm grabbing and what I think of it. The other thing that I want to use today was the Sennelier Abstract. I'm going to use a couple of the colors from this set. I grabbed the Titanium White and the Mars Black because I was going to be putting those out anyways. I already have my other colors picked out for my palette, but I thought I could definitely integrate those 2 colors into my palette and kind of see what I thought about them. I'm going to be using golden. I like golden paints. This is a heavy body paint. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be using for my colors, and testing out the Sennelier paints, testing out those paint brushes. And aside from that, I mean, if you have any questions as far as what brush I'm using or whatever, you know, just throw that up there. I will try to remember to pause and get those. And first time being here at the easel, so oop, there it is. My camera, hopefully I'm not going to stick my head in front of you. So hi, Starving Artist Collective is in the house. Yeah, let's just see. The way I have this, it's hard. Hopefully I won't mess this. Hopefully this doesn't mess this up. Okay. Starving, stumbling in the room, knocking over chairs and stepping on people's toes. All right, down in front. All right, so I don't really see any other questions or anything like that. I'm going to switch this up. If I stick my head, I brought a clip so I could kind of contain this mess. I made the mistake. I had to straighten my hair today, which I have naturally curly hair, so I straightened it today. And then I went outside. Neighbor down the street was having a tree taken down today. And I was like, I really hope they're going to finish that before 3 o'clock. And luckily they did. So we're not hearing like the big trucks and the stuff going into the wood chipper and all that. Because I could hear it up here really well. And then my husband went down and we want a tree taken down in front of our house. So yeah, he was scheduling that, and I was like, any day but Thursday, not on a Thursday. So they were laughing, but that'll be coming now, I'm sure. So anyways, I stepped outside, and the humidity, because we're expecting it to start raining here within about the next hour or so. So my hair just, it gets crazy. So anyway, I'm going to clip that, but that was to say that if my hair tries to interfere with that camera, please let me know, just in case I don't notice it. And because we are going to be working over here today. See, I'm going to barely move, and I'm going to try to like bump it. So I'm going to try to be really conscious of that and not get in the way. So here is the canvas that I had started this, and I showed this to you last week. I started the sky, and I wasn't happy with the way the color was coming out. So I wasn't happy with the way the color was coming out, and I just kind of stopped. And I knew I was getting my new printer in, so I decided I was going to wait till that printer came in so that I could print out the actual reference photo. And so the reason I like to do this is because when I am working, if I print the reference photo, then I can mix my colors and actually paint it up here and touch it and make sure that my colors are cohesive and working. This, if I was doing this just it was a reference photo and something I wanted to paint, it was not a commission. If the colors were close enough, they were close enough. You know what I mean? As long as my values were correct, I wouldn't worry about it. Excuse me, I wouldn't worry about it as much. But since this is a commission and this was a special portrait to this couple, then of course, I want to make sure that kind of stuff is right. So I am working on, this is a level 3, which is supposed to be the professional level of Artist Loft. It is a gallery wrapped canvas, and just show you the back of this guy, if you can see that. I really like the way, do you guys, I don't know, and I don't know another company that does their gallery wraps this way. Drop me a comment below if you do, because I love how clean the back ends up looking. I mean, everybody else, normally it's stapled all the way along, and there are staples in this groove, but there's also like a kind of like a rubber gasket in there to help hold that canvas tight. So anyhow, I just really liked the looks of the back of those, and we don't often look at that. So there that is for you. I don't know. Excuse me. Do any of you, have you used these? Have you tried them? What are your thoughts on them? Hi, Colored Pencil Magazine. Welcome. Thanks for joining. If anybody watching does not know about Colored Pencil Magazine, if you're not getting it, you should definitely check into that, because there is some amazing artwork in there every month. And if you are into colored pencils, it is definitely a valuable resource. So if you haven't, check them out. And of course, every time we talk about touch-up texture and titanium white, or the final fixative and the Luxe Archival paper I just showed you, those are all Brush and Pencil and Colored Pencil Magazine. They're all kind of together. Check them out. Absolutely check them out, because you will not be disappointed. So the Tara says, to check in here. So Tara said, nope, mine don't get finished like that. See, I haven't seen any like that before. Starving Artist Collective said Art Spectrum, an Aussie brand, does canvases like that. They are beautiful to work on. I just loved the look of them. And so, yeah, I have yet to see another canvas that is a gallery wrap like this that has that back. I really like it. And, you know, Artist Loft, which was Michaels here in the US. Michaels carries that brand. While I don't care for their regular canvases, this is their level 3. They're supposed to be their professional series. Yeah, I don't know. I really like the look of the back of that. It just has a very, you know, I think it does have a professional look to the back of it. It's very finished. Finished, I guess that'd be the best word for it. I mean, not that people aren't going to expect, like, if there's staples on the back of it, you know, I think that's pretty much what people think. Oh, yes. Colored Pencil Magazine says, thank you. Yes. Brush and Pencil LLC brand is amazing. That's by Aliana Nicholson, which I said it that time. Last time I tried to mention her name, the words would not come out. And that was when I was showing the Luxe Archival paper that I had gotten in and in my art haul. So yes, I can't wait to work on that. We will be doing that soon here too. Maybe in a live, which brings me to that question. Excuse me. What else do you guys, what do you want to see during a live next week? Of course, it'll be just before Halloween and here in the US. So I figured maybe we'll do something spooky. I don't know. Some kind of spooky project. All right. I need to lay out some paint. And so we're actually going to jump over to just our palette for a moment so you can see better what I'm doing. Color Pencil Magazine says, looks high end. Didn't realize they had a level 3. Yes, they do. And the level 3 is their gallery wrap. Sorry, guys. I told you I ran, and that always causes me to have issues with coughing. Yeah, the gallery wraps are the level 3 professional grade, and they come in so many different sizes. So check them out. I do have a link to them in the description below. This is the 12 by 16 size, and I did link that up. So today we're going to try, this is number 116, and that is the titanium white, and this is a Sennelier abstract. So I'm assuming that this is going to be nice and thick like the rest of my golden heavy body paints. So we will see. Don't do that while you're, don't put that close to your face when you do that, folks. Wow. That, yeah. Okay. First, at first glance there, that, now it says Sennelier Abstract. So that's actually looks even a little thicker than my golden heavy bodies. So will this work today? Won't it? I don't know. If not, I did grab my Liquitex Mars Black and Titanium White just in case. So I do have those. Hopefully those lights are not washing this out too much. This time of day, we have such a shift in lighting here that it can be really hard to get everything quite right in the studio because it's getting darker outside sooner. We're only 42 degrees Fahrenheit here today. It is chilly. All right, put my black on the other side. Oh yeah, these are really thick. And if you remember when I showed you these in my art haul, they came with these little tips. And if you see there, yeah, that's not want to show up. Let me switch that up for you. Go back this way. So if you can see there, you see the different like designs. You can just screw these tips right onto this pouch, and I could apply that right to my canvas and leave it there and let it dry, and it'd be really thick. So yeah, I could do that. I keep wanting to grab my mouse to transfer, and I don't need to do that anymore. There we go. So back to the easel, back to the palette. Of course, I have my paint puck here today. I love it. Whether I'm doing, I need to get another one so I can use one for acrylics and have it over here, and use one for my watercolors. And oh my goodness. So my mouse is being, Joseph says 72 here. I'm going to go outside and wave my hands in a northward fashion. Yeah, and just blow some of that warmth up my way. That's funny. Yeah, it is 42. It was 42 yesterday also. All right, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to start by putting out, when I did this background, so if this is something that you wanted to paint, maybe you just, because I'm going to paint the sunset first. So you'll be able to see that. And this is recording. So when I'm done, I will, you guys can't see what I'm doing. So when I'm done, I'll edit all of this together and you'll be able to just see the whole thing happen, and I'll post that because while I'm doing it live today, working on this, I don't want to keep this couple waiting. So I'm probably going to keep working because this is a commission. I'll keep working on it through the week and try to finish that up. Then once I do have it done, I'll make a video and share that. It'll probably be a time lapse, but you'll be able to see it finish coming together. So when I did this background, I used some Cerulean Blue because when I looked at the, well, there we go. When I looked at that reference photo, and this, I don't know if it's coming out that way on your screen or just mine. It's looking like the saturation's really amped up on that photo, but you see it up here too. This is also looking, and I know that this is not as saturated as I want it. So the way it's looking on my other monitor, it's probably just my monitor. There are undertones back here that I can see through the clouds, and those have they have a cerulean hue to them. So I started with that, but when I first put that on there, I was like, I don't like it. It doesn't look right. I got frustrated. It was just the way everything was drying in the studio that day. it was best to just stop and walk away. So it sat there for a little while, and oh, good. So Joseph said picture doesn't look bad to him. So, okay, it's just looking like, so that yellow looks like just pure cad yellow in part of that sunset, and it's not. It's a really a cad yellow with some orange, which we're going to try, or even a little bit of like yellow ochre. And I've got that and transparent red oxide to bring in some of those orange hues. So we are going to see 80 degrees and sunny where Starving's at. Ugh. Yep. No, well, 80 is not bad. I can deal with 80. 80's fine. It's when we start getting up into the 90s that, yeah, I don't like that. So today I'm going to, put out the Phthalo. Do you guys have one of these? Golden makes this. Again, I didn't link this in the description, but I certainly can. I love these because I can never get my paint tubes open, and I always feel like I'm going to destroy the tube, which is so true for these Liquitex heavy body. I hate trying to open this. I feel like I'm going to rip that tube right apart anytime I try to get that open. If you guys have any tricks for those, I'm all ears because those make me crazy. So I've got some Phthalo Blue red shade. I'm probably going to end up needing to use more, but I don't want to put extra out because, let's face it, it's going to end up on this palette and then dried up and wasted. My zinc white, and I'm using a little bit of zinc white as well. I just use pliers and a firm grip, Joseph says. Joseph asked, will it be a silhouette for the most part? Yes. The couple really does look in silhouette. And they, there's some different values there. So I'm going to pay attention to those values. But like, for example, her dress has, their legs are, well, his legs are definitely our darkest value. And this is zinc white, guys. And I'm just going to put this up over here because when I mix stuff for like my clouds that I want to be more transparent, I'm going to use the zinc white versus the titanium white. Just because I want to get, and also with some of the colors for the actual sunset that I want to keep more transparent, I'm going to use a little bit of that zinc white. So anyhow, let me focus on this. Remind me I'm talking about silhouettes. This is a little bit of the Titan Buff or unbleached titanium. And I just want that for some of my warmer tones that are in the clouds. And I'm going to need my Alizarin Crimson. And you're going to see how fast, I'm going to move this here because my light is going to shine on that. But hopefully once I start mixing, that won't be a problem because you will see I take up a lot of real estate on my palette when I get going. All right. So that was Alizarin Crimson Hue. This is Cad Yellow Medium. I've got my yellow ochre. And my transparent red, because it pulls out that black, it pulls out the black to make it pop up on the screen correctly. So yes. I need one of those for my paints. I use a towel so it doesn't cut my hands. These are fantastic, Tara, and they're very inexpensive. They are very inexpensive. I will make sure that I grab a link and throw that in the description below. Once I found that, I was like, happened to be like, oh, people who purchase this item, you know, have also purchased this item. Well, they got me. They totally got me with that because, yeah. I was like, I need this. I need this in my life. Let's see. Joseph says, keep some ice cubes on hand in the studio and touch them to the metal to contact it. It will make them slightly looser. Can also just put the tops in some icy water for the same results. So the tops are plastic though. So it will make the metal constrict, possibly, is what you're saying? If I put that in cold water. I always ran them under hot water to kind of break and loosen it up. But I could see where that would work. But icy, shoot, all I need is another month and like hot water in a jar to expand it. Yep. So all I need is another month and it's going to be like ice in this studio. And I kid you not. I have got a blanket that I keep in the studio all the time because when it gets really cold, sometimes I'm like, I'm all wrapped up in my blanket and I'm sitting here trying to paint with a blanket wrapped around me. I'm surprised I don't have paint all over the blanket. Contract. Okay. The tube, the top is metal, the cap is plastic. Got you. Got you. That makes sense. So yeah, what I was saying before was, it pulls out, there's a background because for whatever reason, my chat capture was not working properly. So I had to go back and do it the way that I didn't want to, which you then have to remove a color. And that also happens to remove the black of your logo, which looks much, much nicer the way that you have designed it. So sorry, that's altering that on you there. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Joseph says, I'll need a Bob Ross Snuggie. You laugh, but I could totally, oh my gosh, it would happen. It's like my Bob Ross. Can you guys see? Well, not with my head getting in the way, you can't, but I have to share this. This was made for me by a couple special little people. Right, if I can get that up without making a terrible mess. I'm talking about Bob Ross, and I hope you guys... All right, wait a minute. There we go. So, an apron. Can you guys see that? It was actually, like, stitched on there. So, this is in my... We don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. And they actually, see, know me so well, knew I would not want to use this and get paint. I'm going to get to see how you do it. If my throat would stop driving me crazy. I have here, I don't know if you can see that very well. See, I transferred my line art onto my canvas already. That was there, and I'll just show you. And we'll get this down. I'll stop putting my head in front of the camera. So I sketched, from the reference photo, I drew it out, and then I put it on this tracing paper. And you'll see I have a line down the side here so that I know if I line that up with this side, because once I start painting on this, you know, of course my lines are going to get all messed up. But I've got that so that this right here, this edge lines up with this edge of my canvas. And then I can easily grab a couple points. So once I paint my sunset over this, I'm going to be able to come right back, line that back up perfectly where it needs to be. And if I needed to put them back on here again, I could transfer them back on with some transfer paper. So I kind of keep that aside. Do any of you save your if you do things like that. Do you save them? Like I have a drawer that has all of the artwork that I have to transfer onto a canvas. I have a drawer that has like all of those saved. Of course, I save everything. So yeah. Do you guys do that? Do you save them? Like, oh, maybe I want to paint this again someday. I highly doubt it. Like once I've painted it and I'm over that. Now I want to go on to something else. All right. So before all my paint dries, it's like where to go from here. So I really think that for starters, I want to blend a little bit into this part here and start bringing this down. And this is why I said, you know, anybody could follow along with this part because I'm just going to paint the whole sunset first. This is going to be easy because it will be mostly in shadow. And that was the reason I started to say that I had the Dioxazine Purple. Well, the Dioxazine Purple I had for in some of the clouds up here, they have a purplish tone. But I'm not sure if I really want to use Dioxazine Purple, or I think I would rather take my Alizarin Crimson and my Phthalo Blue red shade and mix my own purple, because then I'm going to be using, you know, the same colors that are elsewhere in the painting to create that purple. So I think it'll be a little more cohesive. So that's my thought anyways. Let me know what you think. Is that Langle art? Is that how you say it? If not, my apologies. Late but finally made it. Well, you just missed some chatting about new products that I'm trying today. And yeah, we're getting ready to get into the painting. So you haven't missed any painting yet. Joseph says, I've never done the same piece twice. That's just weird to me, right? See, that's how I felt. I was like, I don't know. Why do I need to do the same piece twice? Just make a print of it, right? If I liked it. Or, I mean, I guess if it was like years down the road and I wanted to see like how far my art has come. But then I think I would just start with the reference photo and work from scratch if I really wanted to go there. Because otherwise, if I use the same sketch, how much, I don't know. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be the same? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so I am going to grab my same little number 4 filbert here, just because I want to mix with that one. Now I could mix with palette knife. I have a ton of palette knives sitting here on my easel, but I almost said my studio. This is not my studio. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in here. Kathleen. Okay. Langle. Okay, yes, like Langle. All right, gotcha. Kathleen. Well, welcome, Kathleen. Thank you so much for joining us. This part of the sunset where this is very cerulean in its undertones, and I'm going to have to mix because, oh no, I don't. They want their border black, which I asked that. That was a question I had asked. And do you guys ask this? I'm curious if you do commissions. Especially with a gallery wrap. Like the gallery wraps, like I've done gallery wrap before, and I'll just paint, and whatever I'm painting, I'll continue it right around the side of the canvas. Or do you just like paint it black? Like in this case, I'm just going to be painting it black because that's what they said they wanted. They wanted it to look like just the black border. So that's what that'll be. How do you guys do it? So I think I'm going to, this blue, so you have this like cerulean underhue right to about here. And then right around this spot, it starts to shift and I get a little bit of that, a little bit more blue-green undertone. And it really just looks like a bunch of soft cloud cover. So it's picking up, you know, it's like really thin cloud cover, but not defined clouds, if that makes sense. So it's picking up like the blue, you're seeing the blue through it, and then you're seeing the yellow from the sunset. So you're kind of getting almost like a green haze that's coming through here. So good luck with me trying to get that going. I'm gonna just try to mix up a little bit. Pull in a little green, but more blue-green. And then I'm definitely gonna bring in some of this white. Wow. It's a little more blue than green. Still think that's gonna be too bright. Oh, that's a great tip. I like that, Joseph. Joseph said, sometimes I wrap the painting. Sometimes I do a solid color with a mini roller. It makes it very easy. I like that. In fact, I might try that with this piece because I was thinking, oh, how am I going to make sure that I don't bump the front, don't mess up anything there, but get my side done? Do I do the side first? Do I do the side? You know, so the way that I think is I'm going to paint around the edge slightly, and then I think I'm going to try that and then roll it around and with the black. That is a great tip. Thank you. So what I'll do is, see, this is not going to be, that's way too bright. Way too bright. Do you do that? Like you'll start mixing, trying to mix a color and you think, oh, I just need a little. So you mix a little, but then as you continue going to get the color you want, you realize that you were going to have a ton of that color paint and, you know, you only needed it for like 2 lines. Happens to me a lot. See, I think that means and then how many of you do that? Big old nasty mess in my brush here with all that paint. So as I put this on, I'm actually seeing a little bit. So you'll see, like, I just keep coming up here and touching that. And I actually have 2 printed out. So if I really make a mess on one, I can just move that and I've got another. So this is actually, that's going to be still too dark. It's not right. And I'll do that a lot. Like I'll just take my palette knife and I'm just kind of holding that on a side just to scrape a lot of that paint out. I will say that that Sennelier paint, super thick, which I expected. They call it Sennelier Abstract, so I wasn't expecting it to be, you know, really thin. Just adding a little bit of water to that. You see how much I'm mixing up a lot. It's a lot. Actually, see, I'm gonna try not. I'm just putting this on here to get it out of my brush. And I'm going to look at like the general area of where my clouds, you guys can't, let me bring up the reference photo where you can actually see it better. There we go. So I'm going to look at that transition, and it's such a drastic, like it's such a quick change between where the cool purple undertones are and then it goes boom, like down into some greens. So this one area here, it is just, I don't like it. And I need to grab a bigger brush, and I need to not put my head in front of you guys. So see, I'm just going to paint over them as if they are not there. We'll see. Now I will say that using that Sennelier Abstract titanium white, before, when I just used my golden heavy body, the Cerulean Blue and some white here for this background, this part of it, I could still see that pencil showing through. And maybe I will when it dries. When it dries, maybe it will come back through you know, from my sketch going on there, or my transfer paper going on there, because that was like a graphite transfer paper. But that gave crazy good coverage. So yeah, kind of like it. I'm just going to keep going. And then what I will do is I just want to get most of the paint out of this brush, and I can always glaze more color back over this and adjust my colors as I go. It's just the first layer. You can have lots of ugly layers. Just want to get that rinsed out because this isn't really the brush that I want to use to put on it either. Or the brush I want to use to put it on the canvas with, to cover that big area. I'm going to grab, this is a Princeton Snap, and it is a 1-inch. It's a white tack-on bristled brush. And just my towel, kind of get some of the water out of that brush. I love the paint puck, and this is why. When I am using... When I'm cleaning my brushes, or in between, or sometimes even like that just had paint in it, and if I wanted to go back to this, but I was going to grab a different brush for the moment, I could just pop that in there. It's not touching the side of my water well, and I'll just hold it. And so now, you know, the water is dripping out. I don't have to have a spot and not getting it in, because I was notorious for getting it in my paint all the time. So yeah, I love that brush. Let's see. Joseph said you can low tack tape it as well, just to be safe. Do one side at a time, let it dry before moving on to the next side. Okay, I'm going to try that. I'm definitely going to try that. Get this brush wet. And you guys can't see the easel there, but I mean, the easel. I clearly don't know what things are right now. Boom, there we go. And I'll pop that back in and out as we go. So right now I just want to get some more background, and this has a little bit of the alizarin crimson in it too, so I'm getting a little bit of that kind of purple texture, and I'm seeing through here. See, it's still really, it's light. I need to darken that up a little bit. Just in this transition, it needs to be a little darker. Just grab a little bit with the... things dry so quickly. I don't know how it is in where you paint at home, but in this studio, things just tend to dry so quickly. Gosh, I have to say that I love, if you guys don't follow Joseph, his link is in the description below. I love the pumpkin that you are doing. I love how, it's Jack Skellington. Yeah, pretty sure that's correct. That's just what it made me think of. As soon as you started drawing the mouth on that, that's what it made me think of. So if you're watching this and you don't know, Joseph, our moderator, has his own channel here on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure that most of the people that are here already know this. But if you don't, the link is in the description. Check out his channel. He also live streams every Monday, same time slot as this. He starts at 3 p.m. Eastern as well. So be sure to check that out. So I have right about here is where all of a sudden it shifts from any sort of blues and goes into really much stronger orange pinkish tones. So I'm just going to kind of block that part in And, you know, I've already started thinking about it because I said, you know what? I chose to live stream on Thursdays. And next month in November, one of those Thursdays is Thanksgiving. I have no idea yet what we are doing for Thanksgiving here. Usually we tend to host Thanksgiving dinner, but I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening. Both of our parents usually come, and yeah, we do that. Do you celebrate Thanksgiving next month? I know here in the US pretty much everybody does, but I know that some of you, and I'm not worried. This is not all filled in right here, and I'm not as worried about that because I know I'm going to be painting over that. And that is his shirt. But his shirt does have, well, actually, maybe I think I'll block it in. While his shirt is silhouette, that's what I had started telling you before when Joseph asked if this was going to be mostly silhouette. So the answer is yes, but there are very distinct values in, so his pants are the darkest value, just like the ground here, and the tree back here. So here, and here, pretty much the same value. Her legs are just slightly lighter in value, just slightly, than pants here. And so this needs to be just slightly lighter. Then her dress is just slightly lighter still. Of course, her arms are pretty much the same as her legs. His arm is a bit darker, but then his shirt is very, it's almost a deep, really deep blue, which you can definitely see a difference in that. So I don't know if I want to go full on silhouette or bring in all of those values. So what do you guys think? What is your take on that? Because I know that they will be happy with it. I could make this just full, you know, blackout to silhouette, and they would be very happy with that. I don't know how I feel with, like, I don't want it to look like the picture was taken incorrectly, if that makes sense to you. Like the exposure's all off and it's not a great photograph. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to give that feeling either. So it's kind of hard when we look at something like this. Like, would it be best if they were just completely blacked out and the silhouette was blacked out, and now you see them, but it's drawing your focus down to the sunset, and do it like that? Or do you think, well, no, there are some of those different values on them, and maybe I should play those up so that you're kind of seeing, you know, it's hard because just the time of day that this was, the person who took the picture, if it was me, I would have blown this out, really focused on getting my light source to completely silhouette them. And then it would have just really blacked them out. It would have been kind of, the contrast, it would have been so much bolder. That's how I feel like there's less contrast. Like if I completely put them in silhouette where it was black, the contrast would be even better. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because I'm really curious. So in response to my Thanksgiving question, so Starving Artist Collective, and you're in Australia, correct? No Thanksgiving here. And Tara, I know where you are, and you don't celebrate it there either. So yeah, so that's, I'm really considering, like, what do I want to do for that Thursday? I'm considering possibly still just going live. because it's, you know, it's maybe it'll be a more abbreviated, or, you know, because if you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then it's just another day for you guys. And I've been giving that some thought, and I am thinking about going ahead and still, you know, coming on. So I don't really celebrate it, but I eat all the food. Oh, okay. I hear that. Like, oh, the food. And the house is going to smell so good too, especially if we are hosting dinner this year. And I know both my parents, if they came, would completely understand if I said, hey guys, you know, I'm going to head up to the studio and I'll be back in a little bit because I still have to work today. And so would my mother-in-law. And I think my brother-in-law come. My mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my parents. But Joseph, would you know, would that be a stretch? I mean, not that, you know, we could probably get everybody to be on their best behavior if you couldn't be, but, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm trying to decide. Or I could pre-record something and still have something on my normal Thursday time, but I am really focused on consistency and getting serious about this. So I definitely want I don't want to break that consistency, even though I know it is a holiday. Now, if it was Christmas, you know, eventually I guess Christmas is going to fall on a Thursday, you know, we'll talk about that. But, and again, not everybody celebrates Christmas, but I have fun. I am really starting to have fun hanging out with you guys, and I know it's only going to get better the more we do it and get easier and less awkward. So, oh my gosh, Tara said, I'll book my flight. I like food. Definitely. It is ridiculous. If there's 6 of us, we will have enough food for 20 people. And then and we'll send food home with our parents, and we still have food for weeks. I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't know why. Like, I can't just go get like a 10 or 12 pound turkey. No, I have to cook like a 20 pound. Lou will tell me all the time. He's like, we don't need one that big. I'm like, but just get a 24 pounder. It's going to look like that. You know, Norman Rockwell Christmas, Thanksgiving. Yeah, we don't have turkey on Christmas. We have prime rib, but, yeah. What do you guys have? Do you have the same thing on Christmas if you celebrate Christmas as you do on, well, you don't all celebrate Thanksgiving, but if you do have Thanksgiving or like Easter, if you celebrate Easter, we don't do a lot for Easter. Starving said, just my 2 cents. For me, a straight black silhouette would look like a paper cutout stuck on. I would just slightly soften the tint, the outlines, so it looks more part of the lighting situation. Okay, see, and I was like, I don't know. I do kind of like, he's just got like his shirt I think he was wearing a white shirt, and it just took on this blue glow, which I don't know if you guys can see that when it's up there. Let me see. I don't know if that shows up in that photo. All right, I'm going to try this. I don't know if I'm going to mess it up. See if I can make that larger for you guys to really... I don't know if that's going to mess it up or not, but hey, we'll try. So does that come across? Like, can you see the blue? I'm pointing with my mouse, like you can see my mouse moving over that. If you see where in his shirt, it just has this like blue glow to it, and then her dress is slightly lighter. His legs are just as dark as the rest of it, but hers almost, but not quite so much, because of course her skin's exposed. So, and I think he was wearing dark pants. So now if I get that put back. So yeah, what does everybody else think? I'm leaning towards going ahead and having, you know, some values there, or some variation of values. Could still, Starving Artist Collective said, could still do the live stream, and we all bring food to our computers. Oh my goodness, to share. Here we treat Christmas as Thanksgiving time. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. I love that idea. Although I will not be eating on camera live with you, but mine probably won't be done at 3 o'clock. We don't usually eat early. Well, sometimes we do. Maybe we could plan it like a Thanksgiving lunch, and then I can like share dessert with you guys. So, okay. Tara also says, I think it's nicer with the blue tints in their clothes. So, yeah. All right. Thank you. That helped. It definitely helped. Like, it's so much, it's nice when you can, get somebody else's opinion that also looks at a lot of art every day. All right. I want to start getting some clouds in here. And again, if I'm not, clearly, because I don't think I'm going to get this all blocked in the next hour. But, I might get it blocked in, but it's not going to get finished. But I will be continuing it. This won't continue next week on the live stream. I will be continuing it throughout the week. And of course, I'm recording this. So, like I said, I will show you a video and show you the progress. And I'll post updates on MeWe and so that you can really see kind of where it's going. And as this is drying, I am starting to see some of that outline coming back through. So, yeah. I was going to say, if that titanium white, you want to talk about some good coverage there. All right. So now when I transition here, this is going to actually start to be some kind of orange tones, but it's a little more muted. I'll take just a speck of that. See, I'm surprised I didn't go for like the instant gratification and just throw in my darks down here. And that's why I picked the Sap Green. So I had the Sap Green listed as one of my colors because when I do the ground, I figured instead of just doing black, I'm going to take a little bit of Sap Green, blend that in with what I used for, the ground. I'll take a little bit of blue, mix my Phthalo Blue in with my Mars Black to give me, the richer, that really, midnight blue for his pants. So I'm not going to use just plain black. And that is going to be very not it. I had too much black in there, which you cannot see. Cannot see my palette at the moment, which is, probably just as well. I said, I'm going to come on and suddenly like forget how to mix and blend all my colors. So I'm just building these up. Bring that back so you can actually see my palette here. That looks really washed out for you guys. I tell you, it was so hard when I was doing the classes on Zoom, teaching my student over Zoom. It was very much, I'm just getting just a tiniest bit of the Alizarin Crimson because this is not, let's try that. Well, that is working for the color above, not this quite so orange. So I'm going to kind of glaze this right over here because it worked kind of well. The color really, if I move my head so you guys can see. And this is very much, again, this is not the brush I want to put this on here with. but I don't want to waste my paint either. So as this transitions over, it doesn't really carry over onto the right side here as much. It gets more into the purple. But this just has a lot of that tone in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some of this on here. I'm not using a lot. I'm going to grab a little bit of water with my brush, and I'm actually going to try to just glaze in some of this color. And I have in my big water cup that's down there, I have one of my small paint pots, which I can't find the other one. I showed it to you guys in my art haul video, and it was in my, my click and go little Faber-Castell. I think I got a fiber from that towel. It was in that, and yeah, I put it up. Can't find it again. Lost it. But my other one is in the bottom of that cup, and I'll use that. This actually has, like, there we go, color. That cloud kind of comes all the way up here. So I'm just glazing this on top of that blue. And I'm actually liking the effect it's giving me. So there's a lot of water in my paint right now. And of course it gets darker as it gets to the bottom. Nope, I'm actually not sticking my head in the way. And it's going to transition and start to come purple. So I'll be glazing like a purplish color over that. All right, I'm liking that a little bit more. So again, first layers. Some are going to be really ugly. Some uglier than others. So I'm looking like where this color is, it kind of comes up and stops right about right around the middle of her head, or actually about her shoulders, about her shoulder height. And so I'm already a little taller than I need to be with that. But I think as the purple comes back down over, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Right? It's acrylic. If I don't like it, I'll just paint over it. So this is going to have to transition in here, and that's got a lot more red to it. I remember I did the sunset. I don't know if you guys can see it. It is right about there. Can you guys see that? That one right there. That one, I remember the transition on that one drove me crazy. It was, but I just kept at it, and yeah, I'll have to post the picture of that. I almost submitted that painting, which is 8x6. Yeah, that's an 8x6. So I almost submitted that painting that I did with the original, my husband's uncle. Amazing photos. He takes amazing photos. He is, I think it's The Villages on Facebook. Well, The Villages is a place in Florida. But he does so much photography down there. Ron Clark. And has graciously allowed me access to his photos and the ability to paint any of them that I so choose. Oh, he's got some amazing animals that he's taken. He's got some pictures of some alligators, and I'm like, I just fear for his life every time I see those pictures, because I'm like, how close did you get to take that picture? Yeah. All right, I shouldn't have touched that because I'm making it worse. I should have left it alone and let that just dry for a minute. But no, I couldn't. I didn't like how the bottom, you guys can't see. I didn't like how the bottom right here was so harsh, and I was just trying to kind of break that up, but anyhow. Do you do that? You'll start working on something, you just keep messing with it, and as you keep messing with it, of course, it's just making it worse and worse, and you should have just stopped and left it alone. Yeah, I do that. I do that all the time. So I put brush strokes in there, and I'm just lightly just trying to get a few of my brush strokes out. And just soften the harshness of the bottom of that line out of there. Stop before mud. Yeah, exactly. No. I'm not behaving with that right now. I'm just keep messing with it. So while I mix up some other colors and let this dry for a moment or two, next week, we'll talk about that. I did not want to rinse that in there. This is my clean water. I just stuck it in my green paint pup one, which I was using to grab clean water for when I wanted to thin out some of my colors. Anyhow, next week I want to do something fun. Just something fun for Halloween. I've got a couple ideas in mind. Not sure yet which one I'm going to go with. Oh, it's MeWe. Oh, hold on. I'm going to pull Lisa. I've got to do this right now. I have friends. Friend request. Thanks, Starving. Starving Artist Collective. We are now friends on MeWe. If you're not on MeWe, folks, check it out. It is such a much more refreshing platform than Facebook. And yeah, highly recommend. You actually see the things that you want to see and don't have to get subjected to all the garbage. Okay, next week, I actually, things I wanted to tell you guys about. So yeah, I was considering, I have an image. I wonder if I can show that to you. I'm sure I can, but I don't want to mess anything up. I'll post it. There is an image of some jack-o'-lanterns, and I haven't decided yet if I want to do it in watercolor or acrylic. I think it would be really fun in acrylic, but there's a side of me that is like just wants the challenge of the watercolor. So I don't know. But it's there's 3 jack-o'-lanterns that are all lit up. And when you're looking at it, you can see into the jack-o'-lanterns, and you can see the texture on the inside of the jack-o'-lantern. They look really cool. So, yeah. There's a question. So I'm thinking about doing that one, or I'm really thinking about, now this I definitely want to do with watercolor, but I think that I should do this one, this idea. Maybe we'll do the jack-o'-lanterns in acrylic. Oops, I beat my painting here. The jack-o'-lanterns in acrylic live, because that's fun. I think I could do that start to finish in acrylics in 2 hours. I think I probably could. Maybe. I don't know. There'll be talking involved. So Joseph's probably laughing at me right now like, oh yeah, you think you can do it. No, it's not going to happen. I don't know. It'll be definitely easier than this. I usually paint way faster in acrylics than what is going on here today, because this is a commission. I am going to be so ridiculously fussy about like every cloud and every color and everything being just so. So yeah, it's gonna be, this one's gonna be a process. But normally I paint much faster than that. If it's not a commission for somebody and it is just me creating art, I am throwing paint up and playing and mixing and experimenting and all the things. So I think we'll do the jack-o'-lantern on the canvas. So we'll probably do that live next week. And then what I want to do is I'm going to release, maybe I'll do a bonus video because I really want to do this. I want to do a moon in watercolor and either have like, you know, the tree branch and a cat in front of the moon, or witch flying on a broom in front of the moon, something like that. And then, you know, really eerie, kind of cloudy, foggy sky. But I just want to experiment and play with the watercolors and just see what they will create for me as far as, you know, the sky and the texture in the moon. So I think I'm going to do that because I would definitely have to let that completely dry. You know, I'd have to do my background and let that completely dry. And then I would have to do the moon and I'd have to let that completely dry. And then I'd have to then go back over and do the witch or the cat or whatever. And then, so I don't think that's going to be great to do live because I want to use some granulating colors and really play with some things. So I'm going to film that one. Maybe I can push a bonus video on, maybe I'll do it on Halloween. I don't know, but I will film that and put that out. So next week we will be painting in acrylic again, which is great because, well, now if I record, I'm gonna have to break this setup down and go back to the desk setup, which is not too hard. It's not too hard. It doesn't take me too long to do that. Tuesday I will be bringing you palette faux packs. So that's gonna be my video on Tuesday. What's in it? If you saw the video I put out this past Tuesday, I was looking at these art snacks box. I'm looking at palette faux packs next week. I've got like stacks of boxes over there that are just all of those art snacks boxes. I have a stack of boxes, I think 1 month less. I have 8 months of palette faux packs where I had 9 months of art snacks. And I want to unbox those and show, to do that video like, hey, this is what you can expect in a box. And I think after that much time, you can get a good idea of what you could actually expect from them. I'm really excited to share palette faux packs with everybody. And then I want to be able to say, what box did you guys like best, right? Let's grab that and dive in live on that and play and see what we can do. So I think that will be fun because there are some mediums in there or some supplies that I don't know. That could be fun to watch me try to work my way through that. So that's stuff that's going to be coming during live. So palette faux packs next Tuesday. We'll do the pumpkins in acrylic. And so what I'm going to do is I will work that up. I might even see if I can get like a line art or something so that if people want to do that, paint that with me, I could have that available ahead of time. So if you follow me on MeWe, pay attention there. I will post it over on my Clark Fine Art page and let you guys all know about that. I will try to do maybe some line art and tell you what size canvas I'll be using, and then maybe we can paint that together and what colors I'll plan the colors out and stuff like that. So if that's something that interests you guys, let me know. Drop me a comment and tell me, what do you want to do? What would you like to see us do during the live stream? Because again, I pay attention to all the comments and I want to be creating what you want to be watching or what you want to be participating in. So definitely leave me a comment. I read them all. I try to respond to everybody where it's a comment that would, you know, justify a response. You know, great video. Thank you. Those kind of things. But if you ask me a question, I definitely try to make sure that I answer. So if you just got a, you know, a heart or something like that, you probably said something like great video and it didn't require a big long response, but I do read them all and I appreciate them all. Yeah. I think that was a good kind of where we're at so far. So let's see, checking in. Just on MeWe, and you have diamond status. What is that? So when you go on MeWe, you'll see that some people, right next to their name, there's a little diamond. I think if anybody follows Nick Edgar, he has one as well. And what that is I am a premium MeWe user. I pay MeWe for it. I pay for my Clark Fine Art page. I give back to MeWe because it's only cost me a few dollars a month. But again, that's what makes them so much greater than Facebook, because it's free for anyone who wants to use it. You can get on the platform and start interacting with everybody, but they don't advertise. You're not going to scroll your feed and every 3 to 6 posts be an advertisement. It doesn't happen. The way that MeWe makes their money is through people that support the platform. And that is why I have that diamond status, because I do support the platform. I pay for my Clark Fine Art page. And yeah, that's what that is. That's why you see a diamond next to my name. One day you'll see like a verified check, and I'll actually be, known enough that they can verify that it's the real me. But for now, it's just got a diamond. So that's what that is. Let's see. The 31st is a Sunday, a day before my live stream. So I'm making this Monday my Halloween episode. Excellent. Should be fun, and hopefully finishing up my current project. I am loving. If you haven't seen project Joseph is working on, go check out his channel. Link is in the description below. Look at the past 2 live streams so far. Yes. So look at the past 2 live streams and you can get caught up, and he will be finishing on Monday, and that is at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to tune in. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do for your Halloween episode. So yeah, next Thursday will be my Halloween episode, and we are going to do, and I feel bad because Joseph was doing, there's a pumpkin in his, but this picture was it was calling to me. I have to paint it. I don't know, we'll see, but that's where I'm going with that so far, and I definitely would love to see how it translates in acrylic paint. So if I find something I like better, I'll throw it up on my MeWe page, which is mewe.com/p/ClarkFineArt. So check that out over there. If I find something else that might be a little bit better to do next Thursday, and I'll post it, and you guys can tell me your opinions and let me know. This is definitely dry. I think that I want to put like right here. This is where it is going to be. This is where the sun is. So the sun is pretty much, it's setting, and it's right about there. So I just threw in some white to just remind myself that's where that is. Oh my gosh, Tara. Tara said, I nearly drank the paint water. Don't drink the paint water. Don't drink the paint water. So around where that sun is, there is some really bright. There's some really bright yellows. I think I'm going to work my way from here and just kind of work my way out. And again, if all of a sudden, do you guys do this? If all of a sudden I want an instant gratification, I would just mix up this color and block in that background a little bit, and probably love it. I would feel like I had made so much more progress. But again, I really want to paint this behind that because that is in front. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but sometimes I can't wait. And Joseph says, paint water never goes in a cup, glass, or mug, only in buckets and such. Well, I would definitely not confuse this guy, my paint puck, for my drink, and my Faber-Castell one there. And then of course my others actually recess. I don't know if you can see those so well that way. If you see here, these actually recess down in this holder. I should show you guys this whole holder that I have here. It is fantastic. It started as a piece that was attached to my old A-frame easel, which my A-frame easel I got from my dad. Thanks, Dad. I don't think he's watching, but you know, thanks, Dad. Jar says, I usually use jars, but not today. So it started out and it was attached to my A-frame easel that my dad gave me. And I can't walk and chew gum either, guys, so. And then when I got my new easel, I was like, oh, I was in love with my new easel, but I was devastated that I no longer had my, someone's trying to stick my head in the way. I was devastated. I no longer had, the spot to put hold my water cups. And well, when this started on my easel, it was a lot rougher than this. And then Lou expanded on what my dad had done, which he just threw some scrap wood and made a spot where he could actually there's a bar under here where you could beat your brushes, totally Bob Ross, those brushes right in there. And it's kind of contained. So even if it's splattered in there, didn't matter. Now I will say that my dad, used oil paints. So, he was whatever. He would beat that brush. There's a pole under there. It's like a wooden dowel. And, so yeah. And it had a shelf to the back side of the A-frame. I think, was it Joseph? Was it you? Or was it Nick? I sent one of you guys a picture of it a long, long time ago when Lou first upgraded it and made me the things that hold my metal cups and stuff like that. So that was one of my favorite things about that easel. Everything else about that A-frame easel, I hated. Now I'm just pulling this yellow over here. I'm going to go over a lot of this yellow. But I just want that that undertone carried out. So yeah, I had, when I got my new easel, I got this one. It was my birthday or Christmas. I think last year. I got my H-frame, and this is a Saint Remy. This here, what you're seeing here, is actually, if I took this off my big easel, this itself is a table easel that Lou had made me. So he took this plywood, and of course, there's screw holes here, and there's a groove in the plywood here. I wouldn't put, great paper on this and draw, but I would put something else on it, because before I had really limited space, when I had really limited space, I could just put this on a table and set it up and kind of go create whatever I was creating. And then put it back away. So when I got my new easel, I stuck that up here in the studio, and I want to make it orange, and I don't know. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. Way too much. So anyhow, I didn't want to lose this. So Lou took it off my old A-frame. He put it kind of like it. He made the stand for it, and it is a lot harder than it looks to paint and talk. I don't know how on earth, like, Lisa does it like that. It is not as easy as it looks to just keep talking and painting, because I'm like, wait a minute, where does this line need to go? My head's blocking the camera. I'm just kind of blocking in where a few of these darker clouds are going to go. Hi, Rana. Is it Rana or Raina? See, I saw that and I said, wait a minute. Raina, maybe. Let me know. Is it long A or a short A sound? Raina or Rana? Oh, Joseph said it may have been both of us, but it was definitely me as well. Your easel setup is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so he took that off of my old A-frame, which I loved. Once he fixed that up, I was loving that on my easel. No matter what I did, like my palette fixed, and I would have my palette in front of me, and I would just be going to town, and my water was right there, and it was wonderful. My water was on my left side then. Now it's on my right side. But my water cups were on my left side. Yeah. I think. Anyways, and I had my airbrush set up was to... Oops. My airbrush, which I keep, is mounted just off camera here on the side. Used to be on my right side. But now this is here, and a lot of time I will just use that like for water. I'm going to be working with it some more. Short A, Rana. Okay. So I'm going to be working with that some more, hopefully in the near future, because if you watched my art haul, you know I got some of the templates and such to use with that. So right now I'm just looking at how that doesn't really go, that does not go down that way. Little paper towel, little water. It's our best friend. As long as the layer underneath is dry. So I wanted him to move that because I am right-handed. I wanted my palette there, but I wanted my cups to be to the right. So, and then it has that little box where you can, like I said, you could beat the brush, and then below that it actually has a paper towel holder. So, you know, the kitchen roll, whatever, I can like just put that down underneath there, and anytime I need one, it's right there. And then when he took that off, because I was very, like I said, I was very upset that I was going to be losing that. When I got my new easel, so he took it off, built legs that go down, and a shelf that's on the bottom of it now. So now palettes down there, I've got water, I've got gesso, I've got glazing, medium, or yeah, down there, and or gloss like varnish. I've got that down there. It's wonderful. I absolutely love it. These clouds, like this comes in and it's a lot more transparent and it looks a little bit more red, but I'm just going to go ahead and just keep putting some of this in for the base. Like I said, layers. I will come back over this. And guys, this is the very, very ugly stage. This turns more blue. Those clouds get a lot more blue. They're like a lot denser through there. And this needs to be a little bit more red. So I wonder if my transparent red iron oxide would be a better choice. So Joseph said, I've never drank nor almost drank it, me talking about his paint water. Does that make me a non-artist? No, it doesn't. It just means that you are very, very smart in what you choose to use for your rinsing water. Like my drinking water is like this guy. It has to have a lid. It has to have a straw. I cannot make a mistake. If I'm not grabbing something with a straw, I'm not drinking it because I will end up drinking my paint water. In fact, this is like a mason jar and I actually have it right here. You know, it's like, there's times like I'll think of something that I want and I'll go and I'll tell Lou and I'll be like, hey, I saw this. It's really cool. And I'll ask him all the time, like, can you make me this? Can you make this for me? Starving Artist Collective said, no, just means you're way more careful than the rest of us, but never say never. You'll be painting for years and we might still have a chance to smile knowingly. Oh. I have not drank the paint water yet either, but I still have time. Oh yes, me too, because that's what I was saying. So this mason jar, I saw one of the, like a screen that you can put in there. And I said, hey, I want one of those to rinse my brushes. And I used to use this all the time. Before I got my paint pucks, this was all I used for my rinsing water. I screwed the lid of the mason jar on so that, I could just kind of tap my brush off against here. And then, because that, when you put the lid on, it sticks in slightly on the jar. So when I would wipe it like that, then all the water would just go right back down in there, the excess water. But can you guys see in there? There is like, you might be able to see better behind me. See that screen? That is actually a piece of like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square, I want to say, like chicken wire. Yeah, it's like really sturdy chicken wire, if you will, like the wire fence that you would put up. That's just 1 inch by 1 inch, and it's like, so he bent that, stuck that down in the jar. It won't come out. It's in there good. And the way he folded it over, it stayed up. So when I would just put my brush in there and I would just brush over the screen, and of course that would help get all my paint out. I absolutely loved that thing. He's like, I swear he's like MacGyver. Anything that I see, or if I want it, or I'm like, I'll always first like, can you make this for me? And then go from there. And then if you can't, I have no problem placing an order for it. But if he can make it for me, then why not? Even better. Just most of the time I just use a water well thingy, but if I am using big brushes, I use a big plastic jar type thing. Yeah, so I have, if I was using big brushes, I actually have like a gallon paint can that at the local hardware, it's back there. I will bump cameras and everything else, but the local hardware store sells just the clean, empty paint cans. And so I got one of those, and I got the, screen that you could put in it for like if you actually like regular paintbrush, I'm painting my wall in my house, and I pop that in there, I fill it with water, and I can clean my brushes in there and just do that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Colored Pencil Magazine. So, do you do that? How many things do you have that, or have you seen that you go, I bet I could make that? And you just have to make your own version of it. Because I see it and I'm just like, challenge accepted. What can we do? Can we make this? I'm just really lightening up the color I was just using. Because I want more of like a salmon color, especially over here. Oh, yeah. So red about there. And I even think this is possibly translating a little too dark. I might have to lighten that up even more. It's probably perfect for this spot down there, but this is actually maybe even a little too dark. Ooh, you know what might be fun? Speaking of Colored Pencil Magazine, might be fun to... All right, now this has got me going. The Luxe Archival paper and my pan pastels and my Stabilo Carbothello pencils that I just got, that I've been dying to dive into. I wonder how that would translate, and wouldn't that be fun? You guys could get a good laugh there, because I have it's a medium I've never worked in, and maybe next week... That is too pink. That is not yellow. It's not salmon enough. Perhaps, oh, maybe it is. Perhaps next week, instead of acrylic, I know I could do the acrylic fast. I don't know, maybe the week after. I'm just dying to use those. So maybe the week after. I need something quick, because if it's going to be like a Halloween type thing, we're going to want it one and done. We're going to want it just to be done. Oh, that is too brownish, way too red. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out, and I will definitely I'll definitely post and let you guys know exactly what we're doing. D-Lynn Creative Arts says, hello all, liked and subscribed. Thanks, D-Lynn. I've been crazy busy and haven't had much time for anything else art related. Finally, things are starting to slow down. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. That's excellent. Thank you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I am so excited. Like, I definitely have to share with you guys, because especially for those who are watching that are also creators, I mean, drop a comment with how you feel, or your take on this. Like, I am so excited. Like, right now, the community of people that are subscribed to my channel and following me and are starting to show up and join in live and stuff like that. You know, my subscriber count is growing daily, and huge thank you, huge shout out to all of you who have subscribed recently and are supporting my work. Huge thank you, because you guys make it possible. I mean, this is the start of something, and I am both humbled and I am loving, although yes, I want my channel to grow. Of course, I want my channel to grow. And, you know, I want this to get bigger, but right now I'm not losing sight of where I am right now. And I am definitely not losing sight of where I am right now. And I am so appreciative to all of you, because right now I am loving the interaction with my audience and all of you that are starting to come. And I definitely cannot thank you enough, because your positive feedback. Last week was my very first live stream, and I was so nervous. And afterwards, I am not going to lie, I was ill. I did not feel well. Joseph warned me. He warned me. I was like, yeah, right. It's not going to drain me. I'm not going to be tired. You know, it's just talking to a camera in a room by myself. How is that going to make me tired? Oh my God. Oh yeah. I was exhausted. I didn't feel good. My anxiety levels must have gone through the roof, because I was ill. I was physically ill afterwards. I just could not wait to fall asleep, because, I mean, I ate dinner and then I was like, I gotta go to bed, because I did not feel well. No, the stress and anxiety just was a bit much. But that said, you guys, like, in this past week, thank you for your support. That is all I can say, is just thank you for your support. And I'm not losing sight of where I am right now. And I am appreciating and loving every bit of what is happening right now. Yes, I'm focused on where I want to go. But right now, your interaction and being able to make those personal connections with you, I feel like, for those of you who have children, you're only small once, right? And you're only small for such a short time. Hopefully, if we translate that to YouTube, I'm only going to be this small little new channel for so much time. And, oh, but you have so much more personal connection. I feel such a wonderful personal connection with those of you who have started coming. And thank you, because you're making it a positive experience. And I'm not going to lie, I almost stepped back and said, no, I don't, maybe this isn't what I, need to be doing. And then I said, no, because this is a dream and I'm chasing that dream, and I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to let, negativity, pull me down from that. So that said, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you that are coming and are showing up, and sticking my head in front of you again. But I appreciate all of you that are coming and showing up and giving me some really positive support and feedback. And just know that I recognize you and I value you. Huge thanks to Joseph, because his encouragement. Now see this, let me just real quick, I'm not going to lose my train of thought. I'm just glazing over this because these were so dark, and now I need to push that back a little bit more and desaturate that. So yeah, just glazing over that. But your encouragement, Joseph, back to what I was saying, has been wonderful and so appreciated. Starving Artist Collective, you were one of the first in other chats that really encouraged me and made me start to think, I could do this. I could do that. I could go on there. And you volunteered to be my first troll and get me used to, the things that people could do or say in a live stream. So And, you know, like Tara Giblin, you know, thank you. Gosh, we must have chatted so much yesterday. And you know what? I loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed every bit of it. So, yes, everybody that has been showing up and hanging out and reaching out, whether it be on MeWe or through the YouTube channel, thank you. Thank you. Rana, human interaction is exhausting. Yeah, but and I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm just in a room with a camera, right? It's just me and a camera. So how intimidating is that? And public speaking, guys, I was shocked that I felt the way I did afterwards because honestly, public speaking does not bother me. I could get up and talk in front of a stadium, literally a stadium full of people. It would not bother me. Put me on a spot. Boom, I'll do it. Like, totally unprepared, I'll do it. And I think that's what it was. Like, totally unprepared? Sure. I've got to prepare a speech and just, you know, give this speech? Sure. You want me to go live off the cuff with no feedback? Like, you know, there's feedback through the chat, but, you know, there's no, you know, I need to like queue up, like, you know, the fake applause, the fake laughter buttons that you get when you film live before a studio audience. But there's, you know, there's just like, you don't have that feedback. So you're just continuously talking to, well, in essence, just the camera, you in there. I really did not expect, I mean, he warned me, he said, it's gonna, it'll get you. I was like, no, not me. I can speak in front of people. I used to do it all the time. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. Apparently, it bothered me. It was exhausting. It was stressful. I think it was just the stress. It was the stress of, you know, I want it to be right. You want it to be perfect. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect. And it wasn't perfect. And that's okay. That's okay. That is like, if you guys can see it, it's, nope, this side. It's, everything's mirror image when you're looking here. Right there. Well, that, the green one, that says always stay humble and kind, right? Because I think that is definitely important words to live by. And then the one next to it says, I promise to be kind to myself. And that was something that Let's Make Art sent out. I got that in a Let's Make Art box. And I absolutely loved it. And I was like, it's like a tea towel. And I'm like, I can't use that. They sent it to you so that you, I literally just grabbed my brush full of paint, put it all over myself. But they sent it to you, you know, to use like for your watercolor brushes and dab them off. I'm like, I can't get paint on this. I don't want to get paint on this. I hung it in the studio. It's just kind of like my Bob Ross apron. I just couldn't make it a mess. So anyhow, yeah. Let's see. Just said it's mentally draining because of all the concentrating on painting, reading chat, trying to be interactive. Oh yeah, it definitely is definitely going to take some time to get used to. Thank you, Starving Artist Collective. Thought your first live stream went really well. It was good. Thank you. I was so stressed over that. I'm not lying, guys. I was very stressed over that. But when I was done, I was like, you guys were awesome. Like everybody, I had way more people than I thought show up, you know, were gonna show up. People did show up, and it was just like fantastic. So thank you. Finish getting thank you, Tara. And Joseph, you're doing well. It gets easier, I swear, right? Lisa gave me all the same pep talks. Well, I appreciate you because, yeah, I was worried. What the heck am I going to do? Oh, so today I was worried. I had messaged you beforehand, and you were like, don't worry, I'll be there. I went downstairs to grab my coffee because I thought, you know, that sounded like a good idea. And then I came back up, and when I came back upstairs, I was like, this camera down here that was going to show you guys my palette, on my rigging decided it didn't want to stay locked in place. And it was like way down here. It was, instead of it being up, it's up here, just above where my hand's kind of moving at the top of the screen. It was way down here. It didn't hold. I'm like, what if that happened on the live stream? I'm like, you know what if it happened on the live stream? I would have turned that off. You guys wouldn't have seen my palette. And hopefully you never would have known that it happened. But it happened. I just told you. I am the inaugural troll of the channel. Yes, you will forever be the OG troll. That's fantastic. I love it. And thank you. Oh, and Joseph said, of many channels for Starving Artist Collective. I think she was Joseph's troll too. It's all in good fun. Oh, and that's the first time my chat just jumped. I can actually say that. Oh. Dylan Creative Arts said, I am amazed at anyone who can talk and paint at the same time. Well, you know, if somebody was sitting here in the room with me, I probably still would get lost in like focusing on what I'm doing here. And so let's see, Clark Fine Art. Did you do some practice videos before you went live? So Dylan, before I did my first live, Joseph was so wonderful. I did one other live that I did unlisted. It was just private, where I sent Joseph the link and he jumped on there and gave me some tips, told me like things that he saw that would help. We looked at like my lighting and different things like that. So I did that one time and then that was it. So one time he got on and gave me some feedback, and then after that, the next day, it was like, dive in the deep end. Let's go. And that's what we did. So, yeah. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Joseph says it also doesn't hit you until you're done. It's like an adrenaline rush wearing off. And I think that is exactly what happened to me. After the stream, it was just like the adrenaline of just going through everything and wanting to be on point and, you know, wanting to stay connected and wanting to focus. And I'll go back and I'm going to watch this later. And I don't know how many shows and yeah, I have done today, but I've been trying to focus on that and stop doing those. So, and there's that one right there. But anyhow, yeah, it was focus. Okay, so that was both of them. Back to back, both of them. That is when my brain tries to think and my mouth betrays me. Oh, man. Uh-huh. Better to have fun troll than a troll. That is so true. So true. Tara said, had a great time with our chat yesterday. I'm very lucky to see your journey. Thank you. I'm very lucky that you're choosing to come along with me on this journey. And I appreciate it. Dylan Creative Arts says, I would need liquid courage. LOL. Yeah. Nope. I did not use any liquid courage. Just dove right in there. But oh, if I didn't feel ill afterwards, I probably would have afterwards. Like, okay, I need a drink now. So Joseph is a star. Yes, I appreciate Joseph. Okay, so guys, if you have not, I mean, we're now at about, yep, 2 hours. So although I didn't get a lot more done today, I'm going to keep updating you as I go through and work on that. I am going to continue to update you with this progress because it does need to get done. And so I want you, let me just show you. We go back here. Oh, yep. Go back here so we can get one. I did not get a lot done today. I don't know how well that's showing up. These are still too dark, and I think the tone is off a little bit. I'll keep messing with that. I do like how this part here is actually the cloud cover that's here. That's actually starting to really look like in the photo, and when I transition this into the clouds that'll sit above up here, and I'm hopeful that that's going to transition well. So I'll keep posting updates to this. I'm going to keep recording it. And when I am done, I will string all of that together, and it'll be a seamless video that you can just watch through. It'll probably be, you know, a time lapse. So it's quick, not long drawn out video. So we will do that. Yeah. Be sure, if I can get back to where I can see you, check out my other videos. Thank you, Joseph. His link is in the description. If you have not seen his channel already, please do go check that out. And I'm going to see you on Tuesday with Paletful Packs. Next Thursday, we will be live doing something for Halloween. So stay tuned to all the social media to see what's going to be happening. I will update you there. And until I get my community tab, I've got to hit 500. At 500 subscribers, I will get access to my community tab on YouTube. And then I can start posting things there. But until that time, I'll just keep posting it on the rest of my social media. So yeah, be sure to check out some of my other videos. I'm going to link that right up there for you afterwards. And check out Joseph. Thank you all so much. Keep creating, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.